Yeah, Stella, baby. Finna get right. Here we go. Yeah, listen. I ain't really trying to hold too much pride. Feeling like Michael, how I beat those odds. Yeah.
Well, welcome to Unapologetically Divorced, where we talk about releasing the weight of everything that is holding you back. I know many times when you hear the words divorce, you think about relationships, but no, we are not talking about relationships here. We are talking about getting rid of everything in your life that is holding you back. It is your time. It is your year to release it. And welcome to our 7 minutes of daily positivity. Today, we are talking about rebuilding confidence after divorce. That's right. Remember, divorcing the areas that you need to get rid of. So we're going to start with this quote. Confidence is not they will like me. Confidence is I'll be fine if they don't. This is about you being able to look in the mirror and see yourself for who you really are. Look in the mirror and see yourself differently, not based on what other people are saying, what other people are thinking. Because let's be real, people are going to always have an opinion. People are always going to have something to say about you, but you better have something to say about yourself. And it's so important because we spend so much time talking to other people. When are you going to take the time to start speaking to yourself? I'll never forget listening to Denzel Washington, and he was talking about that. We listen to so many people. We're always talking to other people so many times, repeatedly, over and over and over. But how many times do we take the time to talk to ourselves? How many times do we take the time to tell ourselves, you know what? You got this. You can accomplish anything you put your mind to. And so that reminds me of a scripture that really stands out. Psalm number 139, verse 14. It says, I am fearfully and wonderfully made whole. And so it's time for us to start standing up, understanding when we walk in the room, understanding our worth and our value. Stop diminishing yourself because of what someone else has said about you, or because you are walking around with this shame because your marriage did not work, or that friendship or that partnership, it had to be dissolved. And as we get to see a lot of times in life, we go through things because that's what allows us to dissolve and really do the work on ourselves. Because then once we are rebuilt and we come back together, this is when we're able to shine. Remember, no diamond can shine without going through some tough moments in their lives. And so it's important to understand, for you to shine, you have to go through the process of the pain, the hurt, the betrayal, the lies, all of it. Because if you had not gone through those things, you would not be the person you are today. And there is beauty in everything that you have gone through. We don't like it when it happens. Most definitely we do not. But we have to keep pushing and striving for success, so we know that we have to keep going. Yes, we could throw in the towel and say, I quit, I'm done. But then what's going to take place? Then what's going to happen? No one who ever quit the race won. So it's time for you to understand that you are worthy. It's time for you to understand that, you know what, I am not what other people say about me. So as we always like to leave you with some type of actionable step, I want you to identify the one thing that you've achieved recently. And I want you to celebrate it. Because one thing we don't do is we don't celebrate ourselves enough. We wait on everyone else to clap for us and tell us it was good, it was great. But that is not your story. You have the power to change that around and understand that I am not going to wait on other people to clap for me. If I have to clap for myself, then that's great. And I'm going to keep on clapping for myself. So when we think about where we are in life, and I know this chapter that we're talking about right now is about rebuilding your confidence after divorce. But in order to do that, we have to detach ourselves from so many different things. And so there's a chapter inside of my book. It's in the first chapter, but the title of this section is called Detaching Yourself from Toxic Relationships and Habits. So the name of my book is called Unapologetically Divorced. And this allows you to focus on you, to focus on your whole self, being whole. 7 steps for you to heal so you can reclaim your life and move forward. Okay? And so I'm going to read an excerpt from this part of my book called Detaching Yourself from Toxic Relationships and Habits. When it comes to detaching from toxic relationships and habits, the journey begins with a full, honest look at yourself. As a mental health therapist, I've worked with many clients who could easily identify the problems in their relationships, but struggle to acknowledge the role they played in maintaining the cycle. Often the hardest truth to face is that we've allowed others to occupy spaces in our lives where they are no longer, and they should no longer be there. And so it's just important to understand that as we put emphasis on this last sentence, the hardest truth to face. And when we have allowed others to occupy spaces in our lives where they no longer belong. And when you think about yourself and you understand your worth and your value, it'll become easier for you to rebuild and move on. So you might be wondering, what do I do now? Well, what I want you to do next is I want you to go to yourtransformationalhealing.com, and I want you to download the 5-step self-detox of doubt. Okay? 5-step self-doubt detox. And I want you to say this affirmation: I am worthy, I am capable, and I am wonderfully made. Again, I am worthy, I am capable, and I am wonderfully made. And so as we come to a close today, again, don't forget to go to yourtransformationalhealing.com and download the 5 steps to self-doubt detox. Because now, today is the day that you are rising up. You are walking confidently and boldly, because now you know who you are and whose you are. Be blessed.
Yeah, Stella, baby. Finna get right. Here we go.